So the big question is this: how do young men like us, who didn't listen to society, who are on our own, how do we grow and improve ourselves so that we can live a better tomorrow? That is the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is James Radzinski, and welcome to the Ascend Momentum Show. Welcome back, everyone. Today was an excellent day, so let me tell you what happened. Yesterday, I got an email from Russell Brunson talking about inviting me to, he just sent it to his list, so he invited people to Funnel Hacking Live, which is a live event that he hosts, and it's actually coming up. As of recording, it is August 5th, and Funnel Hacking Live is September 27th to September 30th. And I went to try and buy a ticket to see how much it costs, and it's only $1,000 for one ticket. And then you can get another ticket for $800. So that's like, let's see, that's like less than $2,000 total after tax for two tickets. And so I was like, oh, I really want to go. How can I get there? And then I went to the park today. So I hadn't really thought about it much after that experience. And then I went to the park today, just normal routine with my friend. And it was raining, and we were still having a blast because we actually like the rain. It's a different vibe. And then out of the blue, I just explained to him Funnel Hacking Live is coming up. And I also told him a lot of stories to try and convince him to get to go. And eventually, after a lot of stories and a lot of back and forth, we're both 100% in. And we came up with a plan. And I'll tell you what that plan is. So currently it's August 5th, and Funnel Hacking Live is September 27th. So about a month and a half, a little over a month and a half until Funnel Hacking Live. So what our plan is, right now we're both very business smart. I would say that we're more than one chapter ahead of our local businesses, brick and mortar businesses. So my plan, his plan is different. He's focusing on his own business. My plan is to build funnels and help out other businesses, local businesses, which is the same plan that I've been trying to do lately, but now I have an even bigger motive to keep going, and I actually made a commitment of going to one new business every day. And so we both counted out all the math, and if we make $6,000, we'll not only be able to go to Funnel Hacking Live, but we'll also be able to stay there for like a month. So we have thoughts of staying there, like renting an apartment for 1 month, and just staying at Florida and like buying surfboards and stuff and working on business and just living in an apartment. And that would be an awesome experience. And we would do like all of our schoolwork from the apartment every like once a week or something. We'd just crank it all out. And we would take like mental health days because our school offers a policy where we have infinite mental health days, so we would do that. So we would go for Funnel Hacking Live and then stay for the month. And the more I think about it, the more I say it, I just really want to do it. I'm all in. And so we were discussing our plans on how to make the money. And earlier that day, I had read a chapter of Russell Brunson's ebook, which is called The Marketing Secrets Black Book. And in that, he just has 90, 99 chapters. And the way he made that book is he essentially had one of his employees scrub through 6 years worth of his podcast and take out all of the important lessons and compile them into 99 chapters, 99 secrets, 99 lessons, and put them all into one book. And so I'm only on like page 50 out of like 250, but I read one part that really stuck with me, and it was a chapter called something like all that matters is sales, like selling is the only thing that matters. And essentially it brought to my attention that really the only thing that matters until you get $1 million in sales is selling. And the more I talked about it, convincing my friend about it, the more it made me believe it. Because I was telling my friend, I mean, think about it. You can make a beautiful website, but you're not going to make any money unless you get a sale. You can do all of this stuff, but really, at the end of the day, we're trying to build a business, and the way you build a successful business is to make a lot of sales. And, like, it just makes sense. Sales is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. And so, after reading that, I made a commitment that I am going to go to a new dream customer of mine every single day. Like one new every single day. And just 2 days ago, I had to build up all my willpower to go to my first customer. And then I didn't go to another customer the next day. But I found that the first time I went, it was extremely difficult to do. But afterwards, I was like, oh, that was pretty easy. And then also, today, now that I did it once, 2 days ago, today's was way easier. It was really easy. I was not very nervous, and I can tell that I'm really just pushing my comfort zone a lot. And this is huge. One, because once I get one yes and get them a successful funnel, then I'll be able to sell and make sales. And then 2, I'm expanding my comfort zone even though I'm getting rejected. So today I actually went and I got a meeting. I actually set a time, a meeting time, and that's huge. Tuesday at 3:30. And so I'll go check in with her again on Tuesday at 3:30. Yeah, so that's essentially how I'm planning on making my money. We came to the conclusion that we need $6,000. We didn't really do some real research. We were just doing like brainstorming. We need around $6,000 to be able to spend a month in Florida comfortably. So we're just going to get $3,000 each. And I feel like it's really easy to get $3,000 with my consulting business, because once I get one free sale, then I'll build them a very good funnel and make them a lot of money, and then I'll be able to tell that story to other people and help them make a lot of money as well. So that's how I plan on making my money, and then we're just going to spend the month there, work school remotely, and also go surfing, practice surfing, and do Funnel Hacking Live, of course, and work on business. But that's one thing that I realized today is 2 days ago, I was so scared of going to my first business, and I was so scared I didn't want to do it. I actually pushed it off another day. I pushed it off like 2 days. And then once I actually did it, I realized that, oh, this is getting closer to inside of my comfort zone now, so now I can actually do this more and more. And really doing this is the biggest mover of me making money. The more I do this, the more clients I get. So I'm prepared to get like 80 rejections. I'm not hoping to get 80 rejections, but I'm prepared to go over 80 times to different businesses. and just keep on trying until I get one yes, because I know that once I get one yes, it's free, and then I can go back to all the other businesses with a story and try and sell them. And like once I get one yes, I'll do it for free, and then it'll be easy to get another yes, and I'll charge for it. And I can, realistically, I could get all $6,000 in one client. We'll see how that ends up. But man, I'm really looking forward to the future, because I was, up until today, I never really had a step-by-step, like, solid plan on changing my lifeline. I just kept on following transurfing principles and just having the knowledge and faith that I will eventually make it. And today really sparked my, like, fuel and passion to where really all I have to do is just make one sale, and I have like 40 days. And since I'm going to be doing this once every day, I have essentially 40 tries to make one sale, and that's huge. Plus, on like weekends, once I get more comfortable with this, I'll probably be going 2 times, because today, after I got that meeting scheduled, I actually went back to my car and wanted to go find another business, but I ended up coming back home because, one, there are many reasons, but that's my excuse, and there's really, pretty much I was being a wuss is why I didn't go again. But eventually, once this gets more in my comfort zone, I'll probably be going like 2 or 3 times every day to different places, and I can just cycle back and forth between all the different places and go back to places that I already visited and try and turn their no into a yes. And I'm just really excited to go to Funnel Hacking Live. I feel like it'll change my life. Plus, it definitely will change my life, the journey to it, making money. And once I'm actually there at Florida, that'll be amazing, because I plan on just going with my friend, no parents, because by that time I'll be 18, so I'll essentially be able to do whatever. And yeah, it'll just be huge for me. Huge step outside of my comfort zone, as well as huge that I'm becoming independent. So that's what me and my friend are really working on right now, just making $3,000 each so we can go to Florida. Yeah, this is definitely something I'm really looking forward to. And you guys have an amazing opportunity, because you guys are really watching my journey, and you guys can see things that are happening. And I'm not going to lie, yesterday I said that I told my friend that I was going to go to a client, and I have an excuse, but it's not worth anything. Essentially, I told my friend I was going to go to a client yesterday and visit them, and I didn't. I have an excuse, but it's just an excuse. It's not. I could have done it, and I chose not to. But today I did it, and I'm getting better every day. That's really what self-improvement is, just get better every day. I gotta grab some water real quick. Really, I feel like I'm really grateful for being on self-improvement. It's really changed my life, and I would never go back. This is one of the best things that I've changed about myself. Striving to grow is awesome. And I'm going to be in Florida next month. It's actually me insane. I'll be in Florida next month on my own, and I'll pay for it. And it's pretty much already a done deal because both me and my friend each have $2,000 in our saving account. So that's like $4,000. So even if we don't make enough money, we still have $4,000 in our accounts. So we're already going anyways, like guaranteed. But we're ignoring the fact that we have $4,000 total, and we're just we're going to make the money organically through our business methods. Plus there's many reasons for that. The journey, all the growth that we're going through, it'll form a positive feedback loop showing that we can actually make a lot of money. And also the fact that people who pay attention. That's like the number one marketing thing. People, and I have a story to back this up. I heard in Russell's book, people who pay attention, and I believe it because Russell Brunson is the CEO of ClickFunnels, and he's the one that's hosting the Funnel Hacking Live, and he also hosts a $50,000 program, and he's given family and friends free attendance to these events, and not a single one of them went off to launch a successful business, whereas people who were sitting literally right next to them, who paid $50,000 to be there, invested in themselves, went off to launch successful businesses. They all heard the same information, received the same knowledge, but the people who paid it and invested in themselves actually went off to build successful businesses, which is why I am going to be paying for it myself. And the $2,000 that I have in my savings account is just like stuff that I built up over years, like my entire life. So essentially that's my life savings. It's really nothing. And I'm just going to ignore that and just keep moving forward. I'm really excited for this Funnel Hacking Live because it actually gives me a short-term goal to chase, like at a very reasonable price, like $1,000 for a ticket, and also $6,000 just total, like for food, housing, everything. That's huge. Let me actually check. How much does it cost? Does it cost to rent an apartment in Florida? In Orlando, Florida. Yeah, it's huge. I'm so excited. And really I got here by, it's $2,000 for a month, the average rent. So we'll probably actually be $7,000. Still nothing. Still easy. But man, life is looking good. And you guys are going to be able to watch this journey. There's one concept that me and my friend have been really nailing down in our conversations, and it's that we essentially have choice. One of the principles of transurfing is that you get to choose what you want, so everything you get is because you chose to have that. Your life is like it is right now because that's what you chose, and you can choose to have a better life, or you can choose to stay the same, or you can choose to be worse. Essentially anything that happens, anything that you can choose, anything essentially. And we've been really nailing down on that concept and really drilling it into our brains, the fact that we really choose anything. And we've gone deep into conversation about things that we thought we didn't choose or didn't even think that you could choose that, and we did choose it. So anything is because you chose, and I'm gonna choose to go to Funnel Hacking Live, and I'm gonna choose to stay at Florida with just my friend, and I'm gonna choose to pay for it all myself. So let me tell you, there's one thing that, first of all, this whole thing about Funnel Hacking Live, we just started talking about it today, and I'm planning on not telling my parents until it gets closer to the time of leaving, or at least I'm going to tell them like right before I buy the tickets so that they know that this is what's happening. But also, there's another thing that I haven't told you guys yet, and I also have been thinking and talking with my friend a lot about, and it's that I want to drop out of high school. So there's a lot of different things going through my mind, whether I should stay in high school or drop out. And what I plan on doing, actually not tomorrow but the next day, is Monday. And what I plan on doing is on Monday we're picking up our packets for school to get our schedules, and the counselors are also available, so I plan on going to the counselors and dropping all of my classes that are not required to graduate. And I'm essentially making, my goal right now is to graduate in one semester, because I'm going into senior year, so I'm going to try and graduate, get all my required classes down in one semester. That's my first goal. And I'm prepared to have a full schedule and just crank all those classes out. But my other goal, my other plan, if I can't get all of those classes, if I can't graduate in one semester, I seriously might drop out. And I'll talk to like my parents and my counselor more as we get closer to the end of the first semester. But I really don't think that school is valuable anymore. I never really thought it was valuable, but now I know that it's not valuable. And also, it's just a waste of my time. I can spend my time way better, more efficiently, reading all day, like working on my business and exercising and just working on myself. That's why I'm focusing, that's why I'm so glad that Funnel Hacking Live is coming up, because that gives me a bigger reason to focus more on, it gives me a bigger incentive and a time crunch to focus on making money. Because once I start making money and I start making a lot of money, then I'll have a lot more leverage and a lot more say, and my words will mean a lot more. They'll have a lot more value to them. So when I say that I want to drop out, people will know I'm serious, and people will take me seriously because I'm making a lot of money, and also they'll know that I'll be okay if I drop out of college, because my value, the knowledge that I've built up, I really do believe my knowledge is worth over $1 million in 1 year. I really believe that I can, like the knowledge that I have right now at this moment, I definitely could make at least $10,000 for one business consulting, and I'm confident in that number. And that's a very modest number, by the way, very humble number. And the fact that I'm learning more every day, I'm literally studying my books, where the information doesn't just pass through my brain once like normal reading. The information passes through my brain 6 times at least, and up to like 8 or 9 times. And that is what will really propel me forward, because even these final days until school starts, I literally have like 8 days maybe until school, my first day of school. These last 8 days are gonna be a race, and I will grow so much in these last 8 days. Now I know you guys really only hear my confidence, but just an hour ago, I had my doubts about whether I was going to be actually able, or whether I was going to actually grow a lot or not, because before I went to the visit that hair salon that I wanted to help their business out, before I went to that, I was having doubts on whether I was actually going to grow enough by the time school starts, and even by the time Funnel Hacking Live happens. But today, after I went to that first place, it was way easier than the first place. I was still nervous, and I still had to push through a little bit of nerve, but it was significantly easier, maybe 80% easier than the first time. And that is growth right there. Just 2 days, and I'm able to actually walk up to someone and try and sell to them. And that's just 2 days, and one of those days I didn't even do anything. Like 2 days ago, I went and did my first thing. Yesterday, I didn't do anything, and today I did another thing, another visitation. And really, that's, now that I'm doing it every day, I'm dropping TikToks. I'm not making TikToks anymore. I was making 3 TikToks a day to practice, and I'd never posted them. I just put them in my drafts, and I did it just for practice. But this consulting thing is way better practice. So I drop TikToks to save some time, and plus I don't see the value in them anymore, and I want to have some extra mental power to actually go and do the consulting thing. So really the only 2 things, business things on my daily routine, is the podcast, which I really know I'm growing a lot from. I mean, you can just tell by going to my first episode even. And that was really my 15th episode, because I recorded 14 episodes before I even published any of them. Sorry about the noise. My dog is upstairs. But really, I am growing a lot. That's just what I'm trying to say. And now that I'm doing the visit every single day, that's just me getting out of my comfort zone every single day. So even in like 4 days of doing that, 4 more days, next Wednesday, I'll be so comfortable with it now. I really believe that. So let's talk about eggshells. My friend told me that he knows all the science, and essentially, since I only eat like muscle meat, but I don't get calcium because I don't drink milk, my testosterone is dropping because of that. There's some science behind it. I believe it because he told me, but you guys can look into it yourself if you want. And so we started actually eating eggshells. I have 8 eggs in the morning, so then I rinse off those eggshells to try and get as much yolk off as possible, and then I crush them up a little bit and pour some water into a pot, and then boil that, like literally put it on high for like 10 minutes while I'm cooking my eggs, and then I let it cool off, and then I just eat an eggshell. I only ate 1 today, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be eating 2 tomorrow. And what that is just increasing our calcium. So, and I think that I'm calcium deficient because, I don't know, I don't really get that much calcium, so we'll see. That's one thing that I changed lately. Yeah, I cannot tell you guys enough how much studying my books has done for me. Let me tell you this one thing that I just found out was a thing maybe a month ago, and it's called speed reading. Like, you can actually increase your reading speed. And all my life, I was the slowest reader. Like, during class, during like reading class or English class, I was always the last to finish during independent reading, and I always had to read like the rest at home. I was just the slowest reader. And I am actually increasing my reading speed so much because at the end of my studies, if it's a good chapter, like an important chapter, I just reread the entire chapter after. So the way I do my studies is I study for 30 minutes. I set a timer on a digital clock so I don't use my phone. I set the timer for 30 minutes, read, annotate, and write down in my notebook all the things that are important and I should know. And then after that timer goes off, I meditate for 10 minutes to lock it in. There's actual science backing that if you do nothing, and meditation is literally doing nothing, for like 5 to 10 minutes after you're done learning something, then it locks it in. It like actually is the most efficient thing to do after you're done learning. So I read 30 minutes, meditate 10 minutes, and then I go back and reread the entire chapter, just speed read. I set a stopwatch. I set the stopwatch instead of the timer, and then I speed read, and I practice my speed reading. And I'm not going for, I am trying to, what's the word? I am trying to understand the words and take it all in, but that's not my goal. My goal is to read as fast as I can and just increase my speed reading, because that is such a huge asset. There's the fastest reader in the world read Expert Secrets, the book that took me like over a week to read. He read that book in like 4 minutes, like 4 minutes and 30 seconds or some crazy time like that. And he'd never read that book before because it was just released. And the author of the book, Russell Brunson, was able to actually interview him, or was actually able to quiz him right after he read that book to see how much he retained, how much knowledge he retained, and he got 100% of the question. He got 100% of the questions correct. So if you can read a book in 4 minutes, that is such an amazing asset to have. That skill is insane. So that's why I'm practicing my speed reading. Right now I'm doing one page in Expert Secrets takes less than 2 minutes. It's usually like a minute and 30 seconds. And which is good because I'm pretty sure when I started, one page would take like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe more. So that's good. So let me tell you guys, when I first started recording my podcast, I told myself that I wasn't going to check the analytics until like a year or like months. I wasn't going to check the analytics anytime soon. And I was going to do that because Russell Brunson in Expert Secrets, when I read that book, that's why I started a podcast. Because he said in the book, if you post on your show daily for a whole year, you will never have to worry about money again. And so I'm essentially testing that theory. I'm like 17, I think this is episode 17. I'm 17 days in out of 365. And once I get to like 30 days, then the rest is going to be easy. And really, it is easy right now to post because I already have a positive feedback loop formed, because I know all the growth that happened outside of the podcast just for me. Like my speaking has gotten a lot more fluid, just things in general like that. So it's already worth it for me, but I'm pushing on. I'm going to keep up this daily podcast forward because I want to test that theory. And plus, I'm doing business stuff on the side. So, but the reason why I formed a positive feedback loop was because I actually checked the analytics. I've been checking the analytics. I checked it maybe a week ago, and I had like 20 downloads or something, and that is awesome. Like, I felt amazing when I saw 20 downloads, because that's awesome. Like, 20 people watched my video. Yeah, maybe half of them were mine, but then I saw the map of like my viewers, my listeners, and there was actually people, like someone in like Belgium or something like that was listening to my podcast, and that made me feel awesome. And so I like was tempted again today, and I checked today, and guess how much downloads I had? 150. That is insane. And I have 6 subscribers. So 6 people subscribe to my podcast. That is awesome to me. Like, 6 people. Simply just from me posting every day. So imagine what it will be like when I hit 10 people, or 100 people, or 1,000. That'll be awesome. 1,000 people are subscribed to my video, or my channel. And so after I did that, because up until today, or yesterday, I don't remember, I think I did it yesterday. Up until yesterday, I only had my distribution, I only distributed my podcast to a few platforms on rss.com. Like, that's where I host my podcast, rss.com. And I only distributed it to all the easy ones. And then Apple Podcasts also. And once I saw 150 or 160 downloads, then I went through and published my show on all of the platforms available. So now my show is available literally everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. And that's why, and let me actually check the analytics right now. Yeah, it's the same, 150. That's like awesome. 9 downloads today. People downloaded it 9 times today. Man. Yeah, you guys got to start a podcast. I'm not even that far into the game. Maybe 1 month into entrepreneurship, but I'm definitely like 1 year into self-improvement, and like 2 years into lifting weights. So I'm not really that far ahead of the pack, or like that far ahead of most people my age, I should say, because my pack is ahead of me, so I'm trying to compete and race them. But I'm not even that far ahead of most people in my age. So if someone was where I was at like a year ago or 2 years ago, you could really catch up like quicker than I did. You just have to focus on like 6 things: cutting out your phone, replacing your phone with reading, and then meditate every day, go to the gym. There's some other stuff. What was the other things? Yeah, just listen to yesterday's episode. I think it was yesterday's episode that I talked about this stuff. Just do all the stuff that I told you about in that episode. Oh yeah, building discipline. And the way you build discipline is by taking cold showers. Really, if you do that stuff. Oh, and also set up a daily routine. That's the last thing. Like literally 6 things, and you'll catch up to me, and you'll be able to get to where I am right now way quicker than I did if you do those 6 things. Like literally, that's all you need to do, and then you can change a lot of other little things as you go along. And that's essentially what I did. But those are like the 6 big movers that I have found that are the most important things. And really, I'm very close. I can tell I'm very close to my first sale. The more and more because today is the first day I actually made a commitment to add it into my routine, going to one new business every day in person and try and get them to accept for me to build them a funnel. And plus I'm studying how to build funnels on my own time. So really, I'm getting there. I'm really close. Life is looking great. I'm going to get some more water. I did the Wim Hof. So if you guys never heard of the Wim Hof method, it's a method it's like a breathing method, which it engages your immune system, and I'm pretty sure it makes you more tolerant to the cold, so it's really good for your health. So I've been doing that every morning. I add that to my morning meditation. So I do 6 cycles of the Wim Hof. If you guys want to know what the Wim Hof method is, go to the Wim Hof website. Just search up like Wim Hof method and his website will pop up. And go to like the breath work. He's got 3 pillars of his method. There's cold exposure, breath work, and consistency, I think is the other one. And I do all of them. But I did the breath work today, and I was in the rain, so I did it in the morning. But then I also, since me and my friend go to the park every day, we did some breath work. We did the Wim Hof method today because it was cold and raining, and we were shirtless and barefoot. So we did the Wim Hof method, and we only did 3 cycles, but that felt amazing. And we had already discussed the Florida plan, like going to Florida. And so when I was meditating and I opened my eyes to the park that I'm at, and I just saw the hill. At my park, there's a hill. Oh, excuse me, I have hiccups. But at the park, there's a hill, and I was on the opposite end of the park, so there was a green grass area in between me and the hill. The hill was probably 2 football fields away, maybe 1.5. And when I saw that, I was really inspired. I don't know what was about it, but I was extremely inspired, and at that moment, I really believed that it was possible. Like, we're going to Florida. That is, this has changed my life. I already know, I know I've been I've been constantly recommending Reality Transurfing, but if you guys have not picked it up, that book will change your life. Do not care about the price. It's like $50 for the paperback. Just buy it. Buy the paperback. I have the paperback. Or you can buy the hardcover if you want. It doesn't matter. I bought the paperback, and it's changed my life. And in that book, and I'll tell you, it's only changed my life because I read it one time through all the way, and now I'm studying it. So you guys can do whatever you want, but actually read it, and then it'll change your brain. But I'm saying this because in Reality Transurfing, there is a concept called the lifeline, and it's essentially where you have infinite possibilities of where you can go, and your current lifeline is like where you're going right now. So let's say you're in the gym every day. Your current lifeline leads to being jacked. So that's essentially what a lifeline is. And you can change your lifelines. There's infinite lifelines, and you can shift your lifelines over. And there's a lot to do with it. There's like the wave of fortune, which is essentially a golden lifeline. And once you're on that lifeline, you are really lucky. Like, you're always lucky for some reason, and that is a thing. And that's like the first step of transurfing, to ride the wave of fortune. I never did it because I skipped over that part when I was reading it the first time, but now I'm studying that, and I'm actually going to I am riding the wave of fortune right now. But besides the point, after I was at that meditation at the park, looking at the tree the hill, when I opened my eyes, I could feel that my lifelines were changing. Like, there was something about it. Just the world seemed different. And I just know that as long as I keep on this path, I will make it, and my life will be different, and I will be a surfer. I already ordered there's like this ball. I don't know if you guys seen it before. There's like this weight ball that people like to throw on the ground and throw at walls at the gym. Like, they just pick it up, throw it on the ground, pick it up, throw it on the ground. It's like an exercise, but I bought one of those smaller balls, 10 pounds, on Amazon. And because my friend recommended it to me, because he is going to be a surfer as well, and he already did go surfing a couple weeks ago. And he recommended it to me, and it's really good for balance, like training your balance, because you can stand on it and train your balance that way. And then once you get good at that, you can do squats and train your balance like that. So I bought that, and it's coming in the next 2 to 5 days. So I'm excited for that, and I'm probably going to end up waking up 10 minutes earlier, like pushing my alarm 10 minutes earlier, so I can practice my balance for 10 minutes before I go to the gym every morning. That's how much I care about it, because I'm trying to go be a surfer and have good balance by the time I become a surfer. Because I'm not trying to be terrible, because I'm going to have to practice my balance anyways, so I might as well start now. Yeah, so the second I get off of this podcast, what I plan on doing is getting a quick snack and then just studying Reality Transurfing for the rest of the night. Reality Transurfing, Reality Transurfing, Reality Transurfing. You guys have to read it. Excuse me, I just coughed. But I've been drilling it into you guys to read Reality Transurfing over the past couple of episodes. So you better read it. Go on Amazon right now. I'm going to go on Amazon with you. Search on your browser Amazon.com. Okay? And now go on the search bar, Reality Transurfing. And then literally the first step, or the first book that pops up, Reality Transurfing, Steps 1 through 4, by Vadim Zelen and Joanna Dobson. I think Joanna Dobson is the person that translated it, because Vadim Zelen wrote it in Russian. So I click on this, and it's $58 paperback, $75 hardcover, but it's 5 books in one. So think about this. $58 paperback divided by 5 is only $11 per book. And yeah, I'll take that deal any day. I just spent $30 on another book, just one singular book. So yeah, buy that. You can even buy the hardcover if you want, $75. Buy that, and then read that. Change your life. Let me look at the other stuff that he wrote. There is Transurfing in 78 Days, a practical course in creating your own reality. it's written by the same author and the same translator. So I don't know. It's $21 paperback. I'm not going to get it. I'm going to read to you the back. This book breaks down the transurfing principles into 78 bite-sized chunks. Wow. Actually, I might buy this. Transurfing is a powerful tool for creating your own reality. When you apply these basic principles, you will gain the power to change your own destiny. Even if you are totally new to the principles of transurfing, you can complete the course on creating your own reality in just 78 days. The knowledge you gain from the course will open your eyes to the illusory nature of the external world. As you apply the principles to your everyday life, you will come to understand that physical reality does not exist as a set phenomenon in and of itself. At each moment in time, from numerous possible decisions, you will learn how to make the one that will help you achieve your goals most effectively, and create a reality in alignment with the kind of events that you decide do or do not have a place in your life. Materialists focus on overcoming existing obstacles, which they tend to create themselves. Idealists live in a dream world with their head in the clouds. Neither type is capable of shaping their own reality. With this practical course in transurfing, you have the chance to learn how to do just that. Man, I might actually pick this up. I might read this. I just sold myself on this book while I was trying to sell you guys on a different book. I think it's essentially the same book, but just different. Yeah. I might pick this up. $21. I don't know. I'm not picking it up now. I'm just focusing on Reality Transurfing, parts 1 through 5, which I feel like is the same book, just more in depth, which is what I'm trying to study. So, if there's one thing you guys take away out of this episode, I want you to know the 6 steps that I would take in no particular order. Start meditating to cure your internet addiction. Cut out your phone time by taking various actions to reduce your phone time, such as turning on Do Not Disturb, deleting all of your apps. Like, I went in depth yesterday's episode, so check out the episode just before this to learn more about this stuff. But the third thing that I would do is start reading. Replace all of your phone time with reading. The fourth thing is go to the gym. The fifth thing is create a routine. And the last thing, in no particular order, is take cold showers to build discipline every single day. And I found that in combination with the Wim Hof method, cold showers are so much easier now. Especially since I've been taking cold showers, like even before I did the Wim Hof. So my cold tolerance is getting better. Plus Wim Hof is like making it way better. So always take cold showers. I actually feel better inside of a cold shower now than I do in a warm shower. I kind of feel gross in a warm shower now. And those are the 6 steps that I want you guys to take out of this episode. But also, read Reality Transurfing. That is another step. And also, I feel like this podcast is an amazing resource for you guys because I'm documenting my journey as I'm going forward. I'm literally telling you what's happening every day and what I learned. Today was a huge day. Yesterday was a huge day. The day before was a huge day. Now, don't expect to have huge days every day because expectation is one of the principles of transurfing. You have to relax your expectation. Do not expect for things to happen. Even though it's kind of weird because you're supposed to think about things happening. I haven't gotten to that part on my second read through, so I'm not very qualified to talk about it yet. But pretty much relax your expectation and your life will be better. That's one of the lessons that I learned while I'm meditating. relax my expectation for having another huge epiphany or lessons after the days prior. So there's one concept I want to talk to you guys about real quick that I learned about in transurfing, and that I kind of didn't think about much my first time reading it, but today, reading it back, there's a sentence. So let me give you some context. Excess potential. You create excess potential anytime you think badly, or you I'm not even an expert at this. You create excess potential anytime you think badly or react negatively. Or no, that's a pendulum. I don't even know. But excess potential happens when your thoughts are like, I just realized that I have to go back and study that section because I can't even explain it to you guys. I just understand it. Well, the fact that I can't explain it to you guys shows that I don't understand it. I just know, I have a general idea of what excess potential is, and I have a general idea of how to avoid it, so I should go back and study it because I obviously don't. So people generate excess potential, and then excess potential generates balancing forces, which balanced forces strive to create a equilibrium. So when you generate excess potential, you are basically tipping the scales. So for example, if you focus really hard on your work and you just focus on that way more and just kind of ignore everything, all the other parts of your life, you'll create excess potential if it's not realizing your goals. You'll create excess potential which will generate balancing forces and those balancing forces strive to essentially create balance again, because you tip the scales, so they have to create balance again. And the one quote I want to tell you guys that I keep on reminding myself of is, when someone creates excess potential, the balancing forces strive to reduce that person's influence on the world. When I read that, before I read that, I knew excess potential was bad, but when I read that, I made a vow to eliminate to never create excess potential again. And now, since I have bad habits, that's probably I already failed at it, but I made a vow to work towards never creating excess potential again, because think about it. You want to be able to influence your world around you so you can achieve your goals. If you have balancing forces reducing your influence on the world, that affects your bank account, that affects your status, that affects your credibility. It literally affects every part of your life. And because think about it, they reduce your influence on the world. So you will not be able to influence the world as much. And that quote really stuck with me, because I'm trying to actually achieve my goals. Anyone who has goals and they want to achieve them, then they need to have influence on their world to be able to achieve them. So why wouldn't you try to get the most influence possible so you can achieve the goals as quickly and efficiently as possible? And I think that's really what transurfing is. Achieving your goals as efficiently as possible and actually achieving them, because most people don't achieve them. If you guys heard the stories, it's not my story, it's Myron Golden's story, but I'm adopting the story. And if you guys heard the story of the Eagles, you should go check it out. I made a episode called Remember the Eagles, and also I think I told the story again last episode or 2 episodes ago. I don't remember which one specifically. But in that story, eagles basically learn how to fly, and 100% of eagles learn how to fly, but only 3 humans learn how to fly, and the flight just represents your goals. So the eagles have the goal of learning how to fly, but humans, on the other hand, only 3% succeed. And those 3%, they're probably transurfers. So if that doesn't convince you again, buy transurfing. I should get an affiliate link for Reality Transurfing because I'm such a good salesman. I'm not good. I'm not very good right now at sales, but I'm getting better. And yeah, get Reality Transurfing. All right, that's enough for that. To wrap things up, don't forget to download your favorite episodes and subscribe to the Ascend Momentum Show. But before you guys leave, make sure to remember the Eagles.